Attention gamers, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to anyone following a kosher diet, and good winter to anyone else. Today I figured I would release a Christmas skins tier list, so if my editor isn't a lazy ass, this will come out on Christmas Day and everyone can use it as a guide for what holiday skins they should spend their money on, or to just have someone else's opinion to argue about with people on the internet as my gift to you. So here we go. Alright, let's jump in and start unwrapping, no pun intended. We have ReGifted a Moo, the little present with band-aid legs. Every little kid's dream to get head-butted by a crying box with a bow on it. That said, I have to dock it points because gifts are supposed to be happy and this one seems miserable. Maybe if it's alt popped out PS5s and prostitutes it could be an A tier, but middle of the pack it goes. Snow Day Bard the big jolly old ball sack is up next. In my hard-stuck humble opinion, Bard's body type is a prime candidate for a Santa Claus skin, so the fact that Riot was just like, nah, let's dress him up like Uncle Buck, give him a frozen honey-baked ham and show him beating up a Katarina and people will still buy this shit. C tier easy. Santa Bra. Most stories of Santa involve crawling down a chimney, but this goddamn savage decided he'd just carry one around instead. Everything is aligns with the theme outside of him looking a bit unnatural, but let's just play it off like he eats liver and bull testicles and act like nothing is wrong. A tier. Ah yes, Santa Draven, the Santa your wife told you not to worry about. They should have named this, the guy who mugged Santa Draven, because it looks more like some prison escapee was running from the authorities, saw the jolly old fat ass in his sleigh and figured a change of outfit would help his escape go smoother. Nothing aligns from a Christmas lore perspective and his axes are a total afterthought, like some designer at Riot was like, let's just make his normal axe look cold. D tier for me. On to Dark Candy Fiddlesticks. This right here is perfection. If showing kids diabetes and fucked up legs isn't enough to wean them off of the sweets, then leave it to the bastard baby of Satan himself and a candy cane to do the trick. The recall animation is dank, his little creepy clones are like the ghosts of Christmas past meets The Grudge, all the animations are clean, fits the theme of the champion. This deserves an S in my book. Moving on to Toy Soldier Gangplank. This skin is more in need of a visual refresh than your average League of Legends player. The idea of a toy soldier would be perfect if they did anything more than put a twisty dick back thing coming out of a very average pirate looking costume. The idea earns it a B, but the execution and the fact that pirates hang out near the sea makes it more fitting for him to be placed near one here too. Snow Day Gnar, everyone's favorite rapidly pubertizing gremlin, and I have to say this one felt a bit like Riot just wanted to pad their Q4 revenue and needed another skin quick, because outside of making the squirrel blue and cold looking, I am thematically flaccid. If you compare this to like Nacho Libre Gnar or some of his other skins, it just doesn't line up. Super D for me. Alright, now we are getting into the good stuff. Santa Gragas. This right here is visual perfection. This is the perfect representation of a low blood sugar slightly grumpy Santa, and outside of his queue looking slightly like a watermelon, I can't find a single fault. S tier on this one. Next we have Snow Day Graves. Honestly, when I first started my channel I referred to my audience as naked Eskimos and I wanted nothing more than to get this skin to flaunt as my mascot, but then of course all the Karens and their fetish for getting offended over dumb shit had to come swooping in with their chastity belt wedgies spouting bullshit about this being a bad word, so chalk this one up to another thing liberals have ruined. Snowman Dinger, everyone's least favorite arcane character who now identifies as frozen water. Flip a snowman upside down and give it Einstein's ingenuity and you still have a shitty D tier champ but a damn decent skin. This would have been an S tier if the snowman was anatomically correct with 3 levels, but it was close. Ambitious Elf Jinx is next, and I'm not sure how to feel about this one. The visuals are great and creative, but unless there's some screwed up stepdad with Silco Santa lore, I'm not seeing it. I think Jinx would have been a prime candidate for a Grinch-themed Christmas skin, but that's just me and I can't argue with the visuals. The little percussion clapping little dressed up Harambe traps are perfect, so she gets put in the A tier to match her cup size. Winter Wonderland Karma goes D tier, stupid ass champ and a money grab of a skin. Sorry if you main her, but you know what they say, karma's a bitch. Next is Sleigh Belle Katarina. I think they missed an opportunity to make her little daggers something more festive like candy canes, and I think naming this skin Regina George Katarina would have been more appropriate, and they maybe even could have just removed her from the game altogether as a present to all of us, but overall I think it's solid. B tier next to the sad shitter. Moving on, we have the best Christmas skin in the game with Reindeer Kogmaw, and if you keep up with my content you know why. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Kogmaw, with your nose so bright, spit on this shit till he dies tonight. Easy decision. Mistletoe Leblanc is an interesting one because while the idea of being under a mistletoe with both her and her survival instinct stepsister sounds intriguing, this skin matches her kit in that it's needed an update ever since Riot removed Deathfire Grasp. Winter Wonderland Lulu in this one is a bit awkward, but you have to respect the effort while pitying anyone who is this committed to advertising that they are elo inflated. B tier purely out of sympathy. Next we have Snow Day Malzar, and I have to say on the surface I'm into it. He kind of takes me back to when I was a spoiled shit in 2005 and demanded I get an Xbox purely to play SSX Tricky on it, so it does get nostalgia points, but the issues start to come out in his voidlings. These look like it was take your kid to work day and someone's 6-year-old daughter one-pin the tail on the donkey in the daycare, so they let her design these things that look like the product of Mike Wazowski butt-fucking a crab, and I don't expect the design team to have the same lack of professionalism as the balance team, so out of principle this one has to sit at the bottom. Festive Maokai is up next, and give me a damn shovel because I dig it. He does have an unfair advantage of being a tree, so it'd be like getting all impressed about a dolphin beating a donkey in a swimming contest, but I do love the little suicide bombers being a flat copy of the Amumu skin. Good on you Riot for finding every way to avoid work, but everything else is on point, so it gets an A for me. Snowman Master Yi is the half-baked product of Riot recognizing that this champ is a broken bullshit noob trap, and it was 100% exploited to get inside of every noob's wallet, as it doesn't even make sense. They were like, yeah, let's just give him a GMO carrot, throw some jizz on his face and call him a snowman. Screw this champ and screw this skin. D tier. Candy Cane Misfortune. I think I speak for all heterosexual males in their 20s when I say this one is unanimously an ass. Any arguments otherwise? Frozen Prince Mundo, or what it should have been named Frostbite Frankenstein, is next. I guess if you are in the sub 30 percentile in IQ group of D-gens who play this champ, then this is close enough to a Christmas skin for you to spend your unemployment checks on, but I don't think it fits any theme here. Sorry to any slobberers out there. Next is everyone's favorite tie-dyed lizard. We have Winter Wonder Nico. Honestly, I'm not exactly growing any bones in my pants when I see this, as I think it's another cash grab without too much thought about how it fits into the season, but I like the snowflake effects on her Q&E, so by the property of OEU pretty it slides into the B tier. Snow Bunny Nidali is up next, and I think I speak for all of us when I say, rip Dominion and any other actual fun game mode. I'm assuming they've updated the visuals, as this video makes it look like it fits more into a 90s retro Super Nintendo version of League of Legends, and I'd rather get chocolatey wasted off eggnog right than look for recent footage, so I'm just gonna put it in the middle. You know, spam the default answer when you didn't want to read the question in a dumbass survey type of style. Coming in hot we have Workshop Nunu, and I'm torn on this one. Willump, who I believe is the diabetic four-armed bear, is spot on. He's like a fat-ass Rudolph, and I think it's perfectly festive, but then the little shit that rides him looks more like a character from Wind Waker Zelda, so unfortunately this is just another example of one person fucking over everyone else in a group project. Sorry Willump, you get a B. Nutcracker is a work of art in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, I think this champ and everyone who plays it deserves to get stuck in a bath of Tabasco, but everything from his name to his theme to the visual effect just screams festive ass League of Legends, and that's the content I don't subscribe to but rather play for free and then complain about on YouTube twice a week. This one definitely deserves a top spot. Next we have Oriana, and I'm starting to think this entire Winter Wonderland skin line was just a giant afterthought, like some manager at Riot was like, okay, hope you all had a good Thanksgiving, we want to bleed these depressed shitters of their holiday cash, so come out with an entire skin line before Christmas, and the whole team was just like, shit, I thought it was just assumed that no one actually does any work between Thanksgiving and Christmas and they just pretend to be at their computers instead, and voila, you have the Winter Wonder bullshit skin line, but you can't fool me Riot. D. Poppy actually has two skins here, and it's probably because the first one isn't a holiday skin at all. They call it Ragdoll Poppy and put it in the holiday skins category, but really this is just soulless Ginger Poppy, and just like her kid in the current meta, it doesn't exactly fit in with anything. Slip this up the ass like a tier list enema and move on to Snowfawn Poppy. This one is like that one niece you have. She's like oh so cute, and your sister-in-law dresses her up all adorable in festive holiday garb, and everyone is all gaga and takes pictures, but you know deep down this toddler is pure violent evil who abuses the shit out of you when no one is looking, and just like a real toddler, I'm not sure what she's holding, but she'll find a way to make it a weapon. A tier. Next is a bit of a celeb shot from another game. No, this video is not sponsored and no, Raid Shadow Legends isn't paying me to say this, but the holidays have me feeling grateful, and anyone who watches my content knows that they have been a long-term supporter of my channel and honestly the main reason why I can keep making videos when YouTube is trying its hardest to prevent that. So I just wanted to give them a quick year-end shout out and encourage you all to give them an honest chance. They have a 12 days of Raid holiday event going on. Again, not sponsored, but I will throw my link in the description for anyone interested in trying, and I won't actually put them on the list because unlike these skins, Raid is free to play. Moving on, we have Poro rider Sejuani, and while I think her character model leaves a lot to be desired, there's something to be said about her nameless steed who looks like it's ready to lick an endless amount of envelopes. So why this one falls victim to group project syndrome a bit as well. The obese drooling guinea pig really carries this one to an A+. Next we have a skin that looks a little outdated to me, like one of those antique ass Christmas tree ornaments you see at your grandma's house, and while the visuals are milquetoast, the name of this skin being Silent Night Sona just tickles my ballsack because she is a mute, so that deserves some appreciation. A tier for the name alone. Snow Day Singed is a dank ass skin in my opinion. The fantasy idea of him contributing to making it a snow day by dropping snow on the ground fits perfectly with what I used to do as a child by throwing snow from my front yard into my street, hoping that it would be the differentiating factor in determining if I could stay home and play World of Warcraft all day instead of go to school. And while this probably wasn't intended and this champ is a piece of shit, that memory alone gets it put in the A tier. Snowstorm Silver honestly is one of those skins where the visuals of her weaponized frisbee being a giant snowflake carries it so hard. This skin I believe was refreshed a few years ago around when Riot stopped investing in balancing their game and started putting more resources into money making skins, and it was noticeable here. I started playing Silver purely to whip giant snowflake cues at people, so for that it goes in the S tier. Next is Soraka, another frozen banana slinging broken enchanter elo inflated bitch. Healing champs have been at the top of every tier list ever since they made Grievous Wounds a hilarious joke, so I think it's only fitting to put this Disney character looking heel ho in the bottom for a change. Alright, now to be honest, this whole tier list is starting to feel like 90% of my ranked games, where after enough time I just don't give a shit and want it to be over, so let's rapid fire through the rest of these. Snowball Chucking Syndra B tier. Happy Elf Teemo is maybe his shittiest skin C tier. Tristana carried me to plat last season because she's busted as fuck A tier. Ice King Twitch A tier as well, good looking in game. And then we have Bad Santa Vigor. The dude is already a pint-sized midget, why not just make him an evil elf skin instead of a dick-sized complex Santa? C tier for no originality. Snow Day Ziggs fits his recent theme of doing the same amount of damage as you'd expect from getting hit by a snowball instead of anything that would actually do damage, so B tier. And then look at the time, better wrap this up. Zillion can just stay down there next to Raid Shadow Legends. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Rav out.